Yes, yes, yes. We are live. It is Friday, February 5th, 2021. First time I got to say that all year, man. Welcome to the new year. We are back with another exciting show. My name is Mike Trampy, aka the Producer Whisperer. I just changed my IG name to go follow me. I'm here with two incredible members from the BeatStars community. You know what it is? It's, you know what I mean? It's the 1 million stream show, the road to 1 million streams, right? So we're going to talk to these guys about how they got there and try to steal as many secrets and secret sauce from them as possible while we do it. So yeah, man, guys, what's up? Make sure you unmute yourselves, Rock T and Batman. But yeah, let me start with Rock T. How are you, brother? Man, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, man, I'm doing good. Just blessed to wake up every day and be able to create and just do what I love, but also have a platform like BeatStars every day to turn to. So every day is a good day with BeatStars.
Wow, man. Can we get you to say that after the show so we can record it, make an ad out of it? That was good, man. I like that.
For real. I got you. Yeah, I got you.
Nah, man. Now, listen, dude, we appreciate you rocking out with us, man. It's a pleasure to have you part of the community. Always a great time talking to you, man. I can't wait for some of the insight that you have. The next guy that's joining the show, I've never got to talk to him, but I've been following him and watching what he's doing. Batman, I think you're muted still. There you go. You got it. Batman, talk to the people, man. Like, let them know who you are and, how long you've been on BeatStars, all that good stuff.
What's up? It's Batman. I've been on BeatStars for about 2 years now. Yep. And I started beats years ago, a long time ago. And, that road to 1 million, it feels good.
It does, man. Yeah. That plaque's going to look good, too, man, when you guys get them. They're on their way, by the way. So congratulations right off the bat for hitting 1 million streams. It's not easy. It's a million, sometimes on Spotify and some of these other platforms. Seems like it's easier, and I think it is. It's hard to get to 1 million on BeatStars. It really is. So, huge accomplishment, man. So, guys, if you've never tuned into the show before, it's a fun show, right? So we're gonna talk to these guys. We're gonna find out, how they got there, kind of their past and their history, their inspirations, their challenges too. Because listen, this is not all good stuff. There are roadblocks. There are challenges, right? So I think what we're going to find out and what I found out from the last 9 episodes of the show is that consistency is probably the biggest thing we're going to talk about. And then some other stuff as well. So, I mean, right off the bat, I'm going to swing it right back to Batman because, you let us know you've been on the platform for about 2 years, right? So yeah. I actually did some research and, was looking at your stuff. And I see that you joined actually on April 19th, 2018. So it's coming up on 3 years this April. And in that time frame, man, about 2.5, a little more than 2.5 years, you've uploaded 536 tracks. You've obviously hit 1 million streams. Your followers is what blows me away, man. 39.3 thousand followers, which is crazy. And then I looked at your YouTube as well, and you have about 60,000 subs on there. So I can see that, you're utilizing that as a traffic driver. But before we get on all that, man, you're from Brooklyn.
Yeah.
How long have you actually been producing, right? So we know you've been on BeatStars 2.5 years, but like, when did you first get into producing? Kind of how was like what was your introduction to producing? Your influences, and kind of just give us a quick backstory, man, because I think everyone's interested to see how you kind of gotten into this.
Well, my family is into music too. When I was younger, my uncle was special ed, so music was always around me.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Guys, if you don't know who Special Ed is, I need you to, not now because we don't mess up the show, but after the show, Google it and just do your research. But go ahead, man. That's amazing.
Yeah, so my father used to bring me around like the studios, and I used to see them make beats and record and engineer. And I used to be like, damn, I want to do that. And I took it upon myself to use my dad's MPC back in the days and just mess around with it, with the floppy disks and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was young, but I didn't really, think of it as a career. I was just having fun.
Absolutely, man. I think that's how we all get started, right? It's fun, right? That's it. That you need that passion. You need to have that love and passion for music, and just it's a calling, in my opinion. We're all here for a purpose, and I think it is a calling. All right. So so you're young then. So let's fast forward, I guess, a little bit. So you were messing around with the MPC, doing stuff with your family. When did you finally realize and say, hey, this is my calling, I need to do this? And what was your transition, I guess? Did you stick with like the hardware because you're familiar with it, or were you kind of jumping on the FL train? Because I know a lot of people in like I don't know what year this was, but I know like in the middle 2000s, like 2007, 8, 9, etc., people were getting on the FL Studio and a lot. So like kind of what was your transition with that, or did you stick with the hardware, man?
Nah, I moved to digital after a while because all that saving on the disc and
Yeah.
Space. I needed more. And then I bought me a laptop. I started with FL. I was using Audacity just to like loop stuff at first. I was like, nah, I need to be more intricate and actually make my own sounds and stuff. So I got I went to FL. I didn't like it that much, so I went to Logic, and then after Logic, now I'm on Ableton.
Damn, you're learning everything. That's dope.
Yeah.
Okay, so what year was this when you like got FL and then kind of started switching stuff around? Like circa, doesn't have to be exact.
Maybe 2009. I was in high school. Me and my friends were making music, and they would come to my house to record and everything. So I had to use a DAW after a while.
Got it. Okay, so 2009. So from 2009 to 2018, when you joined BeatStars, that's a 9-year gap. What transpired between those 9 years that made you join BeatStars, or just really take it, I guess, the business more serious? Because I'm assuming before that you were either using another platform, hopefully not, or selling hand to hand, emails, contracts. What were you doing like between that time, or were you not really into like the business side of things? You were just making beats.
I was just making beats, but I had clients here and there, like personal people that I would talk to every day, and people from my high school, they would buy my and stuff and make projects out of them. But the transition really started when I was broke. I was with my mom in the hood. I had no choice but to really just keep pushing out music and uploading it. And I found that I immediately got the package deal where I could do unlimited uploads, and I just started going on from there and paying for promotion and stuff.
That's crazy, man. Yeah, we're going to get into like the promotional side and your tactics and stuff like that. I just wanted to give everybody a backstory of, kind of where you started and what your journey is. And another part of the consistency is people sometimes think you just start and then it's instant rewards, right? But you're telling us you were mid 2000s, 2009, and then a 9-year difference to joining, and now a 2.5-year difference to getting 1 million. I mean, we're talking over a decade, man. So it's definitely a lot of commitment. So thanks for sharing that with us, man. Rock T, I want to ask you the same questions, man, because I want people to kind of understand, your background as well. Same questions, basically. How did you get your introduction to music? What made you interested? I mean, Batman obviously has a crazy story. I did not know this, that he has a family who was so influential on the hip hop culture that kind of guided him. And I have a similar story too, myself, with music, but it wasn't as famous as that. But I had OGs teaching me in the studio where I grew up. So did you have somebody guiding you like that? Or was this more of something you just found out on your own? And then just, kind of give us like a quick rundown of, when and how that transition started as well. And you also joined in 2018, but you actually joined literally like in January, right when 2018 came. So you're a little bit before him, but almost the same time, man, which is kind of interesting. So talk to us.
I got into music because a lot of my family plays instruments, but I never really picked up an instrument. I was more into like just listening to good music, a lot of old school music, old school rap. I listened to a lot of like Tupac and Biggie growing up because my cousins used to listen to that, and they were like, at the time it was like Young Jock and a lot of these rappers in the early 2000s blowing up, and like my older cousins were telling me, well, the 90s music is where it's at. This new music is different. So that's kind of how I came up learning both vibes, the new and the old. And from there, I just kept listening to new music. I got my first MP3 player and CD player when I was young. And then I just kept listening to new music as the years went by, new and old. And then I got into FL Studio in 2012. And I just left 8th grade. So I was like a freshman in high school. And my uncle gave me a computer because he had an extra computer. He was an IT tech worker in a law firm in downtown Dallas. So he was like, yeah, I got a spare computer. There's some software, Adobe Photoshop, just all types of software to utilize to do things on a computer, not just making beats. But I grasped FL Studio quicker. It was FL Studio 9. And I'd say from there, I just was messing around with it. Started out making EDM and dubstep. And then after that, I went into just BeatStars whenever I graduated high school. In 2016, I heard about it. Didn't really like grasp right into it because I was getting into a job in community college. And so around 2018 was when I really pushed my channel the most. And Lone Star Music, which is another producer who's very talented in my city, he had came to me and told me, yeah, man, you need to really buckle down and get on this BeatStars stuff because I'm making, some bands on this. You need to get on there too. And yeah, from there, just from 2018, and then from when I really put in that groundwork, every day uploading 3 to 5 beats a day, still to this day, from that point on, ever since then, things have been up. So, I heard about it in the beginning. It was slow and steady. At first, I didn't really understand it, but then I had to get somebody to break it down to me and, learn more about it and do research. But I'd say for the most part, that was my whole journey, like leading on into it, just listening to good music and getting inspired by music and getting creative on BeatStars.
Yeah, man. We're going to get into some of the stuff you did to drive traffic and some placements that you've got and everything that you've been working on, man. But I think it's so interesting, man. Like I said, this is, I think, the 9th or 10th show I've done, and I've had about 2 to 3 people on every show. So, do the math. What is that? 20 something to 30 something people altogether. Every single person has started on FL Studio. So I just find it, I say this every show, but I'm waiting for somebody to say something different. But it just seems like that era of like 2007, 8-ish through like, what'd you say, 2012? It's just that was it. Like that was the influence that it had on people. So super dope. And to tie something into that really quick, we actually have a contest with FL Studio or FL, in general, just on our social medias and on our BeatStars.world site. So if anybody wants to get involved with that, we have that. So shameless plug, real quick. But all right, cool. Yeah, I didn't go over your stats, Rocky. Let me go over them real quick, man, because there's one number that just jumps out to me. So. You're about to hit, you just hit 3 years on the platform in January. So you're a little over 3 years. But in that time frame, you've uploaded 1.2 thousand tracks. Okay. How the hell do you do that? How's that possible? Is it just 3 to 5 uploads a day, like you were saying?
Yeah, just staying to a good, consistent schedule and taking breaks. Like, take some breaks, of course, because that's what I'd say makes the longevity last. You got to take breaks in between and just stay consistent though. Stick to it. It's easier said than done though. You have to be very disciplined, and some days you'll feel like, man, I've been doing this so much, and it feels like it's the same every day. But to be honest, it's not when you see the outcome. It's actually every day is a journey because you've been changing it up and listening to new music. Staying inspired, listening to music on Apple Music. Check out the hottest music of that time. Check out the latest tracks on the charts. Yes. That's what I do to get inspiration, because that's what helps me change my drums, because I hear their drums are fatter and it's more crisp and the mix is right. So I want to achieve that quality. So I think that's honestly what keeps the consistency as well, is just listening to new music and pushing yourself to listen to new music, even if you're not really into it.
Oh, man, that's a great point, man. Yeah, very interesting, man. So 1.2 thousand tracks, million streams, obviously, 11.8 thousand followers. Like I said, January 22nd, 2018. And then your YouTube as well is 23.1 thousand subs. And the reason I bring up the YouTube for both of you guys is because I think there is a lot of, correlation between BeatStars and YouTube, and just YouTube and just beats in general, right? It's a huge trafficked place. Tons of people are coming there every day, looking for specific things. So back to you, Batman. Sure. How did you leverage YouTube to drive traffic? And let me ask you this too. Were you using YouTube alone, like without BeatStars first, and then kind of tied it together? Or was it like from day one, you were like YouTube to BeatStars? Like, this is what I'm going to use. It's a free method. It just takes time, consistency to upload and drive. How did you kind of factor in YouTube and kind of how all that came about?
Well, I had a YouTube for about 10 years, and I was uploading here and there. I didn't really know about the consistency formula. And then I was looking up type beats one day, and I seen a guy named Yondo. I'm like, yo, I want to be like that. I want to be like that. So I started, doing his type of formula, uploading, the type beats. I wasn't doing type beats. I was doing but before my name was Double A. So I put Double A, the name of the track. It wasn't getting no traffic. So I started doing type beats, work smarter, and it went up from there. And
I actually had a note about your name. That was actually my next question. So what was Double A? What was the significance of that? And then why did you change it as well?
Oh, because my high school, I was a rapper at high school, and it was Double A, which is my first and last name initials.
Makes sense. Okay.
Yeah, and then I was high one day and I was watching Batman. I'm like, yo, I'm changing my name to Batman with the V.
What's the V symbolize? Just something to make it different?
Yeah, it's I don't get copyrighted or I get sued for using the actual name.
Got it. While we're on names, I didn't have this question lined up, but I'll just swing it back to you really quick, to Rock T. What's your name come from? Because I think a lot of, just to give context to this question, is like, I think a lot of people, obviously the music is the most important things, but there are other things that go into branding to making yourself recognizable, right? There's your name, there's the colors that you use, there's the font that you use, the artwork that you use, even the titles that you use. And I want to get into that a little bit more in a little bit, but Rock T, like, where did your name come from? What was like the thought process behind that?
I was in kindergarten or first grade. I used to draw a lot, and I'm still cool with this friend. His name is Uriel Gonzalez. Been best friends since a long time. And we used to draw in class, and I used to draw this character that's in the shape of a T because I was bored. I used to never pay attention. And I called him Rock T. I had other different ones. I had another one named Jaja. I had another one different names. And later on down the line, like, just making dubstep and all that, Skrillex and Deadmau5 and all that was blowing up. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to just call myself Rock T because that's what I used to draw back then. So that's just honestly how I got it, just a childhood character that we made drawing when we were young and just being loyal to my friends and just remembering, and staying in touch with them. I think that's what really made me find that name, going back to the basics.
That's fire. No, man, it makes sense, dude. I like it. That's cool. It's, I feel like sometimes producers don't get to talk about their naming and branding and kind of where that stuff started from and the inspiration behind it. So it's cool to hear that story. So stay with you real quick. The same question I asked Batman about YouTube was it kind of correlated like right away, or did you have a YouTube first? You kind of hustling beats through email with, direct file sending, or was it like, okay, I'm launching BeatStars and YouTube at the same time, and then obviously how did you leverage your YouTube to drive traffic, to your BeatStars?
At first, when I got into YouTube, it was in 2014. I had an account and I only uploaded like a remix of ironically, it was a Logic song. I remixed one of the Logic songs because I was into it, and I just remixed this beat and I just put Rock T remix, and then that beat ended up getting like a lot of views. Like, it got 20,000 views within a couple of months, and that was my first video. So I was like, oh, maybe I should keep doing this beat stuff. Maybe people really like my beats. It was getting a lot of comments. And then and it wasn't type beats at first. It was just edits and remixes of different beats. And then it went into my own beats. And then from there, I started noticing the type beat trend blowing up more. I didn't get a grasp of it until 2017. And that's whenever I rebranded myself into making type beats. And then that's what really raised my channel to where it's at today, because the audience is most likely a lot of people who are tuned in with my type beats.
Hell yeah. Okay. So let's clarify something while we're talking about type beats, right? So in your opinion, both of you guys, I'll start with you, Roxy, just because we were talking to you. Did your music change at all before you started, from when you were not using type beat SEO until it's after? Like when you started using it, was the music, obviously the music's going to transpire and you're going to get better as time goes. But I mean, like the overall way you approach and your creativeness, did it ever change in that time frame?
Yeah, I'd say it changed it for the better, because back then I used to go into the music thinking I need to make a Rock T sounding track. But to be honest, like, I think it's good to understand what artists you're working with and build around them and cater to them more than yourself, so that the artist can really shine. Just be somebody that's easy to work with. And I think through making type beats, that helped me get familiar with different types of styles and flows. Back then, I used to just make a certain flow for me that I was just boxed in. And I think once I started learning about different types of beats and different types of ways you can create beats, that's what ultimately pushed me to be more creative with making music.
For sure. No, dude, that's valid points. I guess my point too was that you're still you though, right? You're still Rock T. Yes, you can look at stuff, right, and say, this style or this trend or whatever it is, as artist, fits what I want to do, or at least, inspires me. But at the end of the day, you're still creating music for the love of the music, right? You're still creating it because you love doing it, and you just want to be able to get your stuff to the right people and heard by the right people. So I guess my overall point was that, people use the type beat terminology so much, but to me, it's been around forever. It's really just a way to use SEO online, but even just in general. I mean, dude, I remember we're talking 1990 something, dude, probably 1995, 6, 7, being in the studio and people playing beats. And, my guys, older guys ask me like, yo, young Trampy, what do you hear on this? I'm like, oh, I hear Nas spitting on this. Like, that's type beats right there. Like, you're literally just picturing what you hear and putting it on there. Instead, now you're just putting it in the title or the descriptions and things like that. So I just kind of wanted to point that out, man. That I think that you guys are talking about type beats, but I think realistically, you're still being yourselves. You're still being creative. You're not copying people, because I know that's like the stigma a lot of times when people talk about type beats. Is like, oh, they're copycat producers. Not at all. And I think everybody probably watching the show already understands that, but I just wanted to point that out. Cool, man. All right, Batman. So let's bring it back to you. So we got the YouTube down, right? What else have you done with your career and your music and your business? I mean, because this is a business, right?
Yeah.
You're making income. You're getting to create with people probably from all over the world. How did you build that, man? So we understand where you came from. We understand that you started your YouTube, correlated that with BeatStars. What else were you doing? Any advertising? Any influencer marketing? Any just using social media, stuff like that?
When I first started, I was doing like a beat a day challenge on Instagram, and I was uploading beats every day to get a little following. And then in DMs and stuff like, yo, I want to buy this, I want to buy that. Oh, where can I find this? And that was before BeatStars. And then I'm like, I think I need a BeatStars too, because people's hitting me up, and I don't want to email everybody all day long. So I had to set that up.
Hell yeah. So over your time, I guess, as you were growing your business, you've obviously realized that sending shit direct and manually is going to take up a lot of your time. So that was a smart move. But are you like, and even to this day, are you using free downloads at all to get emails? Are you using like any of these tactics, newsletters, anything like that, to really, or are you still just posting? Like, what's your full, okay, let me rewind this. Actually, I'm confusing myself. So what is your full process from A to Z? You make a beat, and where does it go? Where do you upload it to?
I upload it to YouTube and BeatStars and DistroKid.
And that's it.
Yep.
We gotta get you on BeatStars distribution, by the way. It's all good. I'm messing with you, but okay. So that's it. That's literally all you're doing is those two things, or three things technically.
Sounds easy, yeah, but it took a while to actually get that consistent basis of where I could sell beats and still upload and not waste my time and stuff. Like it started with love. It's still love. It's just now it's a business. I gotta take it more serious, and
No, listen, man. The reason I'm asking is because everybody I talk to who has reached 1 million streams has a different tactic, or not even necessarily a tactic, just a different workflow, right? Like some people will upload all their stuff to YouTube, SoundCloud, AudioMac, social media. They're using forums. They're doing newsletters. They're doing paid ads. They're doing BeatStars ads. They're doing all this different stuff. Yeah. So I'm just trying to understand kind of what your process and workflow is. And it's literally just uploading to YouTube, to BeatStars, generating traffic from there. And I'm assuming you upload your beats to DistroKid, right? You're talking about beats, right? You upload them too?
Yeah.
Why do you think that is important? Like what made you want to do that?
It's just another source of revenue.
And you can get on TikTok and these other places too, man. Listen, I'm a big fan of it. I'm a supporter of it. I think uploading to TikTok and Instagram music in these places, just giving yourselves more opportunities, man. We had a producer on the platform who had a beat that had, I think, like 3 billion videos or something, like something ridiculous. And he originally didn't upload it to distribution. So it was just like on TikTok, if you guys know, they have like just a sound bite, right, of what it was. And if they don't know who the artist is, it just says like, sound clip something, I forget. But he was able to upload it and we were able to get it switched. So now every single one of those videos shows him. So it's just, in my eyes, it's one, you're generating revenue from the streams and the interaction. But you're also, if someone sees that and then they Google it, what are they going to find? Your beat store with that beat. So it's actually another way to promote. So I think that's dope, man, that you're doing that. And like I said, I would love for you to do it on BeatStars distribution, but overall, I definitely respect the grind, man. Rock, what about you, man? What's your story with like on the promotional side, and kind of like how do you treat your creation, and then do you just go right into uploading? Do you have a schedule, like just a way you're tactically, or not tactically? What's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of it, but basically just having a plan behind it to really put these things out. Like, are you looking at different things? Like me personally, I look at trends. I look at albums coming out. Usually when an album's coming out for somebody, their search for beats spikes because people listen to the music and then want to get a beat like that. So Cardi B today would be the perfect person to upload a beat for her. Drop the big single. People are probably going to go look for beats that sound similar. So anything that goes into you're releasing that, or are you just kind of just uploading it to YouTube as well? And is that it, or kind of what's the process?
Yeah, so I'll like say I'll make like a chunk of beats, and within that like 5 to 3 beats that I make in that day, it'll be to what you're talking about, like a Cardi B type beat, what's within the moment right now, and then the rest I kind of just get creative and do what I want to do, so that at the same time while I'm uploading, they see that I'm being with the trend, but at the same time I'm still providing original content that's outlandish for the vibe right now. Because what if the random vibe that I provide with that beat is actually beneficial? What if they gravitate to that? So I just try to have an abundance, a few options for them to pick when I upload in that day, so that they can hear that I was switching it up. But still, at the same time, I'll use there's a vidIQ extension that's on YouTube, and you could search keywords on there, and they show you which keywords or type beats are like. You could type in type beat, and it'll show you which like type beat is viewed the most. So it'll be like the baby type beat, or Cardi B, or Pop Smoke, and like usually I'll try to cater to that as well, while at the same time being original, so that my audience understands that I'm trying to be up to date, but then at the same time still be original.
For sure. vidIQ's dope, man. We have there's another one called TubeBuddy. We actually have the integration built in the BeatStars too, under integrations in My Media. So yeah, we partnered with them years ago, man. Great guys over there. I'm sure vidIQ is great. I've never used it personally. I think actually I might have tested it, but either one, I mean, it's going to get you to the same destination, in my opinion.
Right.
So just to end the question, so what is your process? You went over obviously the strategic part, and that was the word I was looking for. Thank you, Boo, for strategic. I had a brain fart, but what are you just uploading to YouTube too, and that's it, or like what else are you doing? Is there any email marketing? Are you doing any paid advertising, BeatStars ads, anything like that kind of drive traffic and awareness?
I would say through Instagram and through Twitter. The story option. If you have over 10,000 followers on Instagram, I wish they did provide this for people below 10,000, where you have the swipe up feature. Because on I have that, and like I think that's like the best thing to do is like tell people to like buy your beats, like change your whole Instagram and every social media you have to selling beats, driving traffic to your YouTube, driving traffic to your BeatStars, because that's what changed everything for me. I kind of took away everything personal and just made it about the music. And that's what really is like the best thing to do. Try to turn every platform that you have on every social media, just turn it into a traffic place for someone to go buy beats. It's a sacrifice though, maybe you do want to be personal with it, but it's the best for the business, so that people can find your beats the quickest. I wouldn't want to have so much clutter on my page or on my story instead of beats. I like to be able to promote beats on my story as well. So using that, people will interact with you, and through there, with the interactions, if they like the beat, you're willing to negotiate and speak more on the business and communicate with them ultimately, because communication is what leads to a sale.
Dude, 100%, man. I think that's one of the biggest things that people undervalue or underestimate is customer service and communication. And what I tell people is think about any time you were ever given a great customer service experience, whether it's at a restaurant, a department store, whatever you could possibly think of. How did it make you feel? And what did they do to go above and beyond to help you? Take that and apply it to what you do, because if you can offer that same value, people respect and connect with people. They don't connect with brands. They like brands, but same with BeatStars. Obviously, BeatStars is great, but people are going to connect more with me or with Abe or with whoever it is, and it's because we're human beings, right? So I think that's a very undervalued thing, man, is customer service as well. But you said something that sparked my attention, and I actually have very good news for both you guys as well as anybody in this chat. It's not ready yet, but it's coming. So you were talking about the swipe up feature in IG, right? So IG recently implemented, obviously, the IG shops, right? And for a while, you could sell products and stuff like that. So now you can actually link your pro page to the shops and then load your beats up that way. So you can actually have your store in your Instagram, so people can actually click it and shop right there and buy beats. It will take you to the pro page, but it's a front-facing store, man. So it's almost the same thing, but it's a little bit more front-facing, and and then you can include merch, you can include your kits, you can anything that you're selling in your pro page, you can sell in these IG shops now. So we have a tutorial coming on that. That's going to be a game changer, I feel like, where everybody's going to be able to leverage their Instagram now to actually drive more traffic for beat sales and actually treat it like a YouTuber, treat it like something else. So the shit's crazy. Shit's crazy for real. But awesome, guys. Listen, I want to listen to some tracks in a minute here. I just kind of wanted to get kind of the same question and see what your responses are. So Batman, like, if you're talking to somebody who's just starting to produce, right, they're brand new, maybe they just started producing within the last year, trying to figure out what they want to do, looking, I guess maybe find their sound, find their niche, whatever that makes sense for them. What was the best advice you could give somebody right now to really, from 2021 on through the end of this year? What should their goals be, in your opinion?
Personally, I would tell them, listen to all different types of music that you can, so you broaden your horizon and your sound knowledge, and study music and notes and all of that stuff.
Okay. No, it makes sense, man. Rock, you agree? Anything to add? I mean, what do you think? Like, best advice. I know it's a lot of pressure, man, but you can help somebody, man. They could hear something and it could change their life, man. So, like, what would you suggest? Brand new, maybe a year less in the game, into producing, just learning the business. What should be their goal from now until the end of the year?
Yeah, just wake up every day and stay positive and be optimistic, because there's going to be days where you try to stick to the schedule and the goals that you want to stick to in the long term, but you wake up feeling different, or maybe something happens that day and emotionally you may not be there, or mentally you may not be there. It's always good to just take breaks and just relax and give yourself time, come back into the music when you feel right. Don't pressure yourself to get to those goals right away. Be real with yourself and give yourself some energy to recharge and get back to the journey. Don't just stay on it all the time. Recharge and come back. That's like the best thing to do, because when you come back 10 times harder.
Facts. It's like going on vacation, man. At least for me. working 12, 15 hours a day. After a couple months, you're like, man, I need a break. You go take that break, you come back feeling great.
Yeah, man. That's the best advice I could give.
That's amazing, man. No, I think it's great advice, man. I think it's realistic goals and not overwhelming yourself, because I see too many people do that, man. They just feel like they have to do what Batman's doing, or they have to do it. This guy's got a Batman water bottle too. I just saw it. That's dope. But I have to do what Rock T's doing. Guys, my best advice too, to answer my own question, stop comparing yourself to other people and thinking you need to match what other people are doing. Your journey is not going to be like theirs. Your accolades may not be like theirs, but that does not mean that they're better than you or you're better than them. Everybody's got their own story. So just stay true to yourself and, stay consistent. I know we say that over and over again, but honestly, it's the best advice. But just, realistic goals. Have a 5-year plan. If you don't have a 5-year plan, you should have one after this call. And up to that 5-year plan should be goals for every few months that lead up to 5 years. Got a 5-year goal of getting a track with Drake? Great. How you getting there? Map it out. So before we listen to music, I just wanted to go over one other thing with you guys. Batman, like what has transpired? Obviously, you're selling beats. I'm assuming you're making, pretty good income, decent income. You're living off your music. You're having a great time. Any placements, anything like that have come from any of the beat leases, or any big songs, or have you made a connection with someone in, a different country that you never thought you would have ever met, but you were able to? I'm just interested to hear kind of what you've gotten, outside of just selling beats online, and kind of what have you built?
Well, when I was living in New York, I just moved to North Carolina recently, but I was going to different studios. My friend, shout out Livrelli, he would invite me to studios. There'll be random rappers there. Like, I used to go to Quad Studios and a whole bunch of different studios, and I met Jay Stone, and I landed a placement on his new album that just came out.
Dope.
Yeah, we was just chilling. I didn't expect to see him there. I just seen him, and it was like, oh, we just gonna make a song together. Or
you met him in Quad?
Yeah.
I love Quad, man. It's that view overlooking New York is just beautiful, man.
Yeah, it's a nice studio.
That's dope, man. Sick. All right, so Rock T, man, I know you have something big. I know obviously how I kind of found out about you a couple years ago, or maybe it was like a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago. You were able to work on a pretty big record. What has happened since then, or let's talk about that first, obviously. But then, like, what has happened? That was the first big thing that happened to you, and it changed your life. Did it? I mean, like, realistically, from that and then joining BeatStars, you were able to quit your job. And I'll let you tell your story, man, because I kind of know it already. But just tell that story real quick, and then after that, we're gonna get into some beats.
Yeah, like after going platinum with that ISIS track with Joyner Lucas and Logic, after that song came out, ultimately it just drove a lot more attention to my pages, and a lot of bigger artists like that were like verified, like, you know, that they're probably signed but they're not like all the way there yet. They're paying attention to me more, like when I DM them, because I reach out and DM any artist.
Yeah.
Even if it's Roddy Ricch or even if it's Drake, I still hit the DM.
Why not?
You never know, they might reply, and that's what I did with Money Man. And that's how I got in with Money Man. Because
but respectable, man. Break it down. Like, you're not like, yo, man, listen to my beats, bro. Like, you're probably respectable and professional and just, you know, you're doing it a certain way. I just want to make that clear. I'm not telling. I don't think you're telling everybody to go spam everybody in their DMs. But you have to have a system to this. I'm assuming, like, very good approach and a way to kind of leverage what you do to get a response. So
yeah, the best thing to do is just let them know right away, I have beats for you. Where's a good place to send them? You know, get straight to the point. No need to like be an extra about it. That's usually how people reach back to me, because I'm not really extra in the message. You know, just very direct.
And you're offering value, man. And that's what, you know, I tell people a lot is what is the value you're offering? Go listen to this. Go click this is a demand. You're telling me to go do something. I don't know you. Why would I listen to that? I have something for you. So I think there's just little tiny things like that. I'm not saying that's going to fix all the issues, but just think about that. So I think that's a good point, man, is you're using, you know, leverage of providing a service and value to them. You know, you're not asking them to do anything. You're not asking them to listen to anything. You're giving them the option to. So I think that's big, man. So and something else you said too, man, that stuck out to me is, you know, you said some of these guys aren't as big or signed and stuff like that, man. I think getting placements and working with established artists is amazing. But what's even more amazing is working with new talent and developing them and then watch them turn into those artists that everybody is talking about. So I think there's a balance. And we were talking this pre-show, me and you, that you want to have your foot in a bunch of different lanes, man. You want to, you know, be able to work with artists one-on-one. You want to be able to sell beats online. You want to be able to, you know, collab with other producers. So I think it's important, man. I think it's important that, you know, you build with multiple people and just different revenue streams and different creative streams. So
right.
Anything you want to add to the song? Obviously, ISIS. If you guys haven't heard it, Joyner Lucas and Logic, that track is crazy. I was actually listening to it before the show today. That the beat is just nuts. The video is crazy. But anything you want to add kind of from that, and you know, kind of how you were able to, you know, leave your job and do this full time?
Yeah, I was just you know, just really like investing my money into like stocks and cryptocurrency. I think that was like the best thing to do, because, you know, having money just sitting and just spending it a huge chunk is not really the wisest thing to do.
Facts.
So I think just having like, you know, that awareness of the stock market and other things besides music to look into, to really invest in, to keep making your money have longevity. So I'd say like that's the transition that I made since that time, mainly is getting into more the stock market and cryptocurrency to keep pushing my value up more. And, you know, just being aware of it and joining Telegram groups, networking more with people within that field, so that ultimately I'm just branched out in so many different things and I'm learning so many different things at one time.
Dope. Really quick, and we're playing beats, I promise. I know I keep saying that. What social media networks are you on?
Oh, I'm on
you don't have to give your username, just like shout out. I'm just curious which ones you're on.
Oh yeah, I'm on mainly Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, and yeah, just mainly those. If you can hit me up on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, I'll definitely hit you back.
Okay. What about you, Batman? What social networks are you on? I'm just curious.
Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. I think that's about it. Well, of course, YouTube, but
no Clubhouse for anybody.
Anybody?
Yeah, nobody. Yeah, don't waste your time. No, I'm joking. But I can't get into it, dude. I feel like it's a huge waste of time. At times, at least. I don't get it. But anywho, let's listen to some beats. I know everybody want to hear beats from you guys. They're like, damn, like these guys have accomplished so much. And they got to have dope beats, and they do. So we're going to start with Batman. I already got him queued up. So let me just share my screen. When I press play on the beats, guys, just mute on your side. And then obviously when we're done, we can talk about them. You can unmute. I might play them straight through, like 2-3 beats through, or I might stop each one. I gotta see kind of what the time is and how we're rocking here. But yeah, let me share this. All right. Let me know when you guys can see.
Okay, I can see.
You guys good? All right, cool. So, all right, so we're on your page. I was trying to scroll up for a second. All right. So, guys and girls, everybody watching the show and anybody in general who's watching this later, you can go to anybody's account, right? So, like, we're on his account. You can see, who he is and all his stats. There's stats that I was reading earlier, all right here. His social links are here. So you can go down to the tracks feed, right? And we're on this right now. There's a sort by menu here. So you can actually see what his top selling beats are. So if this is something I would add, I think Rock mentioned something earlier about research. And research is a big part of things. I think it's not about looking to copy. It's about looking to see kind of, oh, okay, I see what he did here. I see what he did there. And taking it and getting inspiration from it. So I filtered by his top selling beats. And obviously the first one that came up is a beat called Past Tense. 33,000 plays. I mean, that's big. That's big on BeatStars. Saba, J. Cole. Off top, do you know what the third tag is for that, Batman?
I think JID.
I can check. I should have just checked. I was trying to be lazy and not do it, but let me pull it up and just see. Isaiah. Okay. Got it.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. It's been
we were close, sort of. All right, so let's listen to this, and then we're going to kind of go through the top selling beats, according to his profile, and we'll listen to these. But let's listen to Past Tense and kind of see what he's working with. Yo, man, you you got some vibes, bro.
Yes,
Wow, man. Wow. Dude, I have so many artists in my head right now, man, that I could hear on this stuff. And the intermission part 2 was dope, man. I wasn't expecting what came in, but it was just a great title for it. Like, it felt like an intermission of like a project or something. But then when the drums came out, I was like, ooh, it's dope stuff, man. Really dope stuff.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, everybody in chat, man, was dropping the fire emoji, so I asked everybody to do that. So they were rocking with it, man. Let's go over to Rock T, because we got about 13 minutes left. Just want to make sure I at least let everybody hear, like, 3 beats from each of you guys. All right, let's see. So again, just go to tracks. And don't worry about muting, guys. I'll mute you. I did it last time. It's probably easier for me to just do it. I'm so used to it. All right, let's go to top selling. Rock, I forgot to ask you in this interview. I actually had a huge note on my note sheet about it. I totally forgot. But you don't actually name your beats titles. You actually just use like artists or genres. That's it, right? Is there a reason for that? Before I play these?
Yeah, I just went into it, just putting artist names, and that's just how it went. Honestly, Lone Star Music was the first one that kind of told me to just put it like that. So ever since then, I kind of always put it like that. And I honestly, I have changed though on my YouTube channel. I give it like, I'll put 21 Savage type beat and I'll give it a beat title name, and you'll see that on my YouTube channel. But more on my BeatStars, it's just for the most part what type beat it is for the artist or anything.
Got it. Yeah, I think your top selling beats were all from 2018 too. I hope you don't mind. I know sometimes producers want to play the more recent, newer stuff. So, but this is what's pulling up for top selling, man. And I think else is interesting too. And I wanted to say this about Batman stuff too is, dude, plays at the end of the day really don't mean anything sales wise, because you have a beat here that's your top 3 selling beat of all time, and you have over 1,000 beats up, and it's got 1,000 plays. So I mean. Yeah. That just tells you sometimes it's not necessarily just like, oh, you got to have a ton of plays to find success, financially. So just something to keep in mind. But all right, cool. Let's check out these joints, man. I was listening to some of these earlier. Fire, of course, but let's let the people decide. Man, oh man, woo! Some heat coming out of these headphones, man. Both you guys, insane, absolutely insane.
I appreciate you, man.
And Rock, I know a lot of your beat. I didn't look at I don't think I looked at the date specifically for yours, Batman. But you know, I know Rocks were a little bit older too, man. These shits are still. Listen, music's supposed to be timeless, man. It's supposed to be evergreen. So it's dope that you know you're playing beats that are 3 years old and people are rocking with them. And I believe some of your tracks were a little older too, Batman. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I think maybe like 2019. I didn't look, but I think that's what I saw. Which is crazy. You know, it just shows you, man, that it doesn't, you know, it's timeless. So make great music and it'll be around forever. So, yo, guys, thank you. Just overall, thank you so much for being here. You could have been anywhere and doing something else, but you chose to rock out with BeatStars and myself. So, you know, we're grateful to have you guys here and part of the community. Obviously, if you guys ever need anything, and I want to say this publicly and on camera, you know, hit me up, man. We're here to support you guys, here to help you guys. We're trying to make history. I mean, that's what we're trying to do over here. So before we go, though, there's always one last thing that I do at the end of the show, and people who have watched the show know what is coming. But I encourage Batman and Rock T to talk after this show and collaborate. I always try to put people together that I have never seen collaborate or maybe have never talked. and see what happens from it. You never know. It could be a beat that changes both of your lives. So I would love to see something in the future. If you guys have something, definitely send it to me and make sure we'll get it, reposted and playlisted for you and all that good stuff. But before we get out of here, let you guys just, talk to the people. Batman, I'll start with you, man. Just talk to them again, where they can find you, what you have coming up. If people want to collaborate, are you doing that right now? How would they send you, loops or drums or whatever they need to do? Just, let everybody know kind of, what you're working on and how they can get in touch with you.
Everybody could really contact me where I'll definitely respond is Instagram, _BBTMAN, and just send me a DM and I'll write back.
Awesome. Well, dude, we appreciate you, man, being on the show. And it's finally great to actually, put a face to the name, a voice to the name. So, dude, keep doing what you're doing, bro. You've been killing it, man. Huge fan.
I appreciate y'all.
Yes, sir. Rock T, man, same thing, bro. Let them know how they can get in touch with you, collaborations, things like that. Same thing Batman just did.
Yeah, y'all can follow me on Instagram. That's where I'll mainly reply to you, or on Twitter, or subscribe to me on YouTube. ROCKTEE Rock T, ROCKTEE Rock T, and I'll respond. Just let me know what's up. Let's get to work.
Let's get it, guys. Again, man, thank you all both. Thank you to everybody in the chat for all the support, all the all the fire emojis. Just having a great community to support all of us is, definitely don't take that lightly, or take advantage of that. That's something that's huge, man. Because you could have no fans, we could have no support. So we appreciate everybody rocking out with us. We'll be back next month for the next show. And if you guys have recommendations for the show and they haven't been on yet, feel free to hit me up on my Instagram. Just change it to Producer Whisperer. I don't know why I think it's funny, but hit me up and let me know if you have any recommendations to come on the show that we haven't had on yet. And yeah, everybody be safe out there. And that's it, guys. We'll talk to y'all next time. Thanks, y'all.